Okay, so nobody wants to watch your kids for you. Even if you pay them, babysitting is flaky. You feel like every time you put aside time to work on your goals or work the vision, you feel like something goes wrong, or your kids or your husband needs you. You just feel like there is no time for you and extra dreams, goals, visions outside of what you do for work or whatever, or taking care of the kids and all of that. And guess what? All of that is true. I know we hear people all the time saying those are excuses, but I'm here to tell you there's just a freedom in calling a spade, calling out your reality and saying, you know what? I don't have time. What am I going to do because of that? And so a lot of y'all know that I have a book coming out this month, and I'm talking about living with vision. And I really have a soft spot in my heart when it comes to personal development and all of that when it comes to moms with kids, because I feel like a lot of that advice is given out in a way that doesn't consider the fact that when you are a mom, you literally are the person that is responsible for keeping these kids alive. So I wrote a little bit about it in the book, but I really want to dedicate this video to you, and I'm hoping that you can get some helpful tips to work around our reality as moms, especially moms of young children. So we're going to start off by talking about some of the challenges that you might face, and then we're going to talk through, y'all know how I do it, we're going to talk through some practical ways and hopefully tips and tricks that you can kind of work around it, right? And so I'm right there with you guys. I just had a baby. My baby is 6 months old, and you feel like you get used to it, but you really never get used to it. This is my 4th baby. And so I felt like for whatever reason that I wasn't going to have to go through all the phases and that I would have everything under control. Well, it's not like that. And then he was sleeping through the night, but now it feels like we have a newborn. So I'm right there with you. Let's look at the first thing where it's like nobody wants to take care of your kids. This was a hard pill for me to swallow, but I've been doing better since I've done it. And I know that and I know it's not just me, because I see stuff on social media about people saying the village is not the village anymore. It's non-existent. And sadly, this is true. Some of it has to do with geographically how we live. And y'all know I have another video where I talk about that, but some of it is really just people are not here to serve anymore. And even if you are paying people, sometimes childcare can be flaky. And here's the reality is that raising children is hard work. It is hard work, and people just aren't lined up to do hard work. It is what it is. Especially when you add on, we have 4 kids. And so if you have a large amount of kids, people just aren't willing to give up their everyday comfort for a day of discomfort, which could add value to your life. So we can sit here and we can complain about it, or we can get creative about it so that you can still feel like you have the space you need to reach your goals. So I'm going to talk through some of the creative ways that I get through this hurdle of your children need to be watched. They need to be taken care of. You can't just put them in a room or a corner while you do your goals or work the vision, okay? So the first thing is paid childcare. Any extra money that you have is going to go towards childcare, and not just childcare, but childcare while you work on your goals and while you work towards your vision. So you may have to take a pause for date night. And let me tell you something right now. Some of the stuff I'm going to talk to you about in this video is going to feel so extreme, but I want you to lean in, because what if you could live extreme for 2 years and achieve that goal and then bring balance to the rest of your life? Okay. So you're not going to die here, but any extra money you have, instead of paying that extra money for for a date night or anything like that, we're not doing that. We're saving that money so that we can pay somebody a Saturday morning to watch our kids or anything like that. Or y'all know how I feel about the YMCA. You can go get a monthly membership for the YMCA. They need to sponsor me, because I really be putting them on in these videos. You want to go check out the childcare, obviously make sure it's quality childcare. But there's a lot of accountability there, because people are walking back and forth, and that always makes me feel better when it comes to people watching my kids. So you're going to pay for that. You're not going to work out. You can work out at home. That's the next thing. You need to be, that's not the next thing, but y'all know my brain. But you need to be doing activities that you can do with your kids. I work out with my videos at home with my kids. I don't do that at the gym while somebody's watching them. Sometimes I will if I just need to go harder, or like, I don't know, self-care day, but mostly I'm there with my laptop using their internet, drinking their free coffee, and I'm working, okay? So you're going to get yourself a monthly membership, and it does something to my brain. It's like a trigger to where I know when I drop them off and I sit down, that's 2 hours working the vision, working the dream, and it becomes a habit. So the YMCA, another one that you probably haven't thought of that's free. And I did this before, and I don't think it's wrong. I don't see anything wrong with it. But a lot of churches offer childcare. So before I was on staff at our church, I would put my kids in childcare for the entire Sunday. So, I mean, I don't know. We had 2 services. Our first service is at 9, second service is at 11. I would attend service, or I would attend service and then work, or I would work and then attend service. So what that looks like is my kids would be in the childcare. I would be in the cafe working, writing something, doing something, prepping for a video, doing, you know, whatever I had to do. And then I would go pick up my kids, and nobody had a problem with it. I didn't feel like it was an integrity thing or anything like that. So when I say you got to get creative, you got to get creative. How bad do you want it? Swaps with a trusted friend. If you have a friend that is also in the same season as you, to where they have young children and they're also trying to go after visions and a goal, you could swap with them. You could say, hey, you get Tuesdays, I take Thursdays, you watch the kids. And this, of course, I'm speaking like if you're a stay-at-home mom, or even if you work a full-time job but you need an extra day, maybe every other Saturday you could swap. The kids get to hang out with their friends, you get to work, and then your friend gets to work. Obviously, you want it to be somebody you trust, but again, that's not an actual exchange of money, but it puts you in a position to where you can do what you need to do. Another option is Mother's Day outs or 2-day programs or part-time programs. Obviously, these cost money. Guys, whenever I first started working on my side business, showing up here for you guys on YouTube, and these are just things I wanted to do, or I wanted to make a pivot, and I was at home with our kids full time, we put our kids in an MDO program before we even knew how we were going to fully pay for it. And my husband, as sweet as he is, would go out on Saturdays and cut lawns so that he could have extra money to pay for MDO. And so it was just a value. It was one of those things, if you have a will, when there's a will, there's a way. Okay. And so some of the programs can be expensive. Some of them can be inexpensive. You may look into on the days that maybe what you could do is work for an MDO program on a Monday, Wednesday, and then on a Tuesday, Thursday, you're able to sit down and work your goals. Now, once you get childcare, here's the thing. You are going to have to be laser focused. If you want somebody to come and train your employees at your company about focus, find a woman with multiple kids who is somehow, some way still achieving the things that she needs to achieve. I always laugh and I tease the kids in our the young people in our office. They're just living their life, right? They don't have kids at home, but you can always just tell because they are shooting the breeze. You know, when I speak, I come in the morning, I might, I say hi, do a little small talk because I care about my coworkers, but you can just always tell like they don't have kids because they have all this available fluff. You have to trim the fluff, trim it all. When you pay for someone to watch your kids, you are there to work. Same thing with the YMCA. When I take my kids there for 2 hours, I am not there to have small talk with the cute senior citizens at the YMCA. As sweet as they are, I'm not there for that. My headphones go on and I am in the zone. This is paid time. This is goal time. This is vision time. I have to treat my time like it's money. When you are a mom, if you want to achieve anything outside of being a mom and paying the bills, you are going to have to protect your focus at all costs. Now, here's a tip that I know that you guys hear all the time. Get up early, stay up late. I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel here. That stuff is still the same. It's still true. It's great advice. If you have a newborn, I'll talk to you in a second. But if you do not have a newborn, the fact of the matter is if you're going to achieve anything, you need to be up before your kids and up at night when they go to bed. Or you can choose one. I'm a morning person. Even though I have a 6-month-old, I'm currently getting up at 4 a.m. He gets up at, y'all, sometimes 6 o'clock, sometimes 6:30, whatever. But I choose to get up in the morning, and I do stay up after my kids go to bed, but my brain is fried at nighttime. So I'm really not doing any big things that move the needle in my business when it's nighttime. I'm mostly preparing for the next day so that it's not wild. That's the next thing. If you're going to go after your vision, if you're going to chase your goals and dreams, you're going to have to have systems in place to run your household. And if you need some help with that and you want me to share some of the systems I use, I can share what works for me, but you're going to have some systems in place. You're going to have to know this is what we have for breakfast every morning. Because if not, you're using your brain power on all these little bitty decisions. And if you're a mom, there are several decisions you're making. By the time it's 8 o'clock, you done made 20,000 decisions for 20,000 people. So you're gonna have to have your systems in place. So at nighttime, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting things set up in my home so that it can run the way it needs to run the next day, so that when I do wake up early, I'm focused on my goals and that's it. I'm not putting out little fires and stuff like that. If you have a newborn baby, I wish I had a power tip for you, but here's the thing. You're gonna have to learn how to honor your seasons, okay? And if you have a newborn baby, they will not be a newborn baby forever. And I know you're probably tired of hearing this, but your job, my productivity tip for you, is to love on those babies. That's it. There's some times where you kind of have to fight resistance, I think, in life. And then there's other times where you need to learn to go with the ebb and flow. With a newborn, you're going to be sitting down a lot. You're going to be cuddling a lot. You're going to be sleeping a lot. You're going to be trying to get rest when you can. That's all you need to be doing. If you're fighting against that, you're wasting energy that you could be using to, like, so when you're restored or when that baby's no longer a newborn, if you hop right onto these other tips, I'm telling you, you will make up any lost time from just being present with your newborns. And here's the beautiful thing, and I talk about this in my book too. The beautiful thing about that newborn stage is that you give yourself permission to not go to all the things. And so you're not going to even the positive things. You're not going to church every time the doors are open. You're not going to all the birthday parties, and people understand it and they give you grace for it. So what's happening is, well, at least what happens for me is you're getting fresh vision. You're getting fresh vision because you're by yourself. You're kind of isolated. And so your only job while you have a newborn is snuggling to that newborn and capturing the dreams that the Lord is putting in your heart while you're not being kind of contaminated by the public, so to speak. So that's your only job if you have a newborn, is to love on that baby and get that new fresh vision. You're going to have a note section in your phone where you're jotting down what the Lord is speaking to you, and then, or a voice memo, and you're going to be able to run 100 miles per hour whenever you finally do feel better or more like yourself. So the next thing is you are going to solicit the help of your partner. I know that there are single moms and everybody does not have this luxury. Please don't disregard this whole video. If you're a single mom, everything else will work for you. But this one, if you are married, you have somebody, or shoot, even if you ain't married and the kids' dads are involved, you are going to solicit, words are hard today, solicit the help of your partner. And even if you have a positive partner that's hands-on, that's what I have, you are going to have to be very specific about what it is that you need and how they can support you on this journey. You can give them timelines, you can do anything. So it looks like this. Hey babe, I have a book coming out. I'm going to do my part. I'm gonna get up early in the mornings. Could you make sure that nothing happens that the kids will need to come knock on the door and come get me and walk right past you, right? Or you can say, so for example, I'm a morning person. My husband isn't necessarily a morning person by nature. But I told him, hey babe, this is the vision, this is the dream, these are the goals, this is about how long it's gonna take for me to get there. In order for me to do this, I know you're tired in the mornings. I know you work really, really hard. And it's not like you're trying to gas them up or anything. You are acknowledging the fact that it is going to be a sacrifice for them. I know you're tired. I know you work really hard in the late nights and stuff like that. But could you possibly wake up 30 minutes before to get dressed so that when the kids wake up, I'm not feeling like I'm frazzled and I got to catch up and do everything by myself, versus you could be getting up maybe just 30 minutes earlier than you normally would, so you could be dressed and ready to kind of handle that morning shift. It may look completely different from you. You might want your husband to help get everything ready the night before. Maybe if you guys aren't together anymore, you might need him to take them an extra day, a week, whatever. I know it's going to be a sacrifice from them, but this is what it takes to raise kids, okay? And them his kids too. So get creative, sit down with them, help them dream with you, bring them in. This is where vision casting is important. Show them where you're headed, because I guarantee you, if you're headed somewhere, maybe you're trying to get a degree, or maybe you're trying to get in shape, whatever it is, it's going to probably benefit them. And so you have to show them where you're headed and the support that you need to get there. Okay, let's talk about things going wrong when you finally, sit down, get to the nitty gritty, and you are ready to work your vision and do the things that you've been talking about for years. Guys, things are going to go wrong. Kids are going to need you. You're going to set up a whole day to work. You're going to finally get out there and do that scary thing, and your babysitting is going to fall through. things are gonna, they're gonna mess up. And what's funny is I heard something this morning that really is stuck with me, and it was like, whenever you put intention on something, expect opposition. And that's so true. Whenever you decide I'm gonna lose weight, expect there to be 12 birthday parties or sweets all up in the office, right? Expect opposition. Don't think that you must give up, or you're you know, like neglecting your family because you start to feel opposition. No, it's because you finally decided, I'm gonna stop talking about it and start getting into motion, that you're getting the opposition. It's probably a hint that you're on to something and that you're doing the right thing. Don't give up. Here's what you need to do instead. You need to give yourself a longer runway. Here's what I like to tell people when I'm training them on vision and stuff like that. If what you wrote down, if it takes you longer than 3 years to receive that into your life, would you be mad it happened? No, you wouldn't. If it's truly something you desire, truly something that's alignment, truly something that you believe that the Lord has for you, you're not gonna be mad if it happens 3 years later, 5 years later, right? So you're still gonna work towards it. You're still gonna move the needle. You're going to adjust, right? The ebb and flow. You're gonna do that. And you're gonna be okay with B-level work. So if I'm trying to do something and it's not perfect because I had to hurry up because I had to take my kids to soccer, or one of my kids needed me, or whatever, I'm not gonna be upset that it's B-level work. I'm still going to put it out there, which y'all know, if you're around this channel, you know that. I'm still going to put it out there, and it's going to be okay. We're not looking for perfection, we're looking for progress. This whole thing, and for anybody, not just moms, but definitely moms, this truly is a marathon and not a sprint. Well, actually, no, it's intervals. I like to say you are running in intervals, because there will be seasons where you need to maybe back off from all the nitty-gritty family duties and put a sprint towards your goals. And there will be seasons where you can be more balanced and be more present at home, and you're gonna govern yourself accordingly without any guilt. Boots on the ground, wherever you are is gonna be where you're going to be, because you and I have a love-hate relationship with this quote, but like, it's like, don't let your kids be the excuse of why you don't do something, but the reason. And let's say you are a full-time working mom, and in order to find time to work this vision that God gave you, or maybe you're trying to build this vision this business that you think is going to give you more time with your kids. And so say because of that, you have to drop your kids off at daycare a little bit earlier every day, or pick them up a little bit later every day to work that vision. You need to put a why behind it, so it will give you the energy to do that. Because what if you only had to do that for 2 years, and that gave you the rest of your kids' childhood to be with them? It makes things so different. The story is different. The motivation is different. The why is different. And lastly, if you're having a really hard time with any of this, and you are doing all the tips I'm asking you to do here already and trying to find time, and you just never can find time, and you just feel like you're spinning and your life is just out of whack. I'm not gonna say out of balance, because balance is a myth, but out of whack, and you just can't even catch your breath. You might want to spend some time praying and asking if this is something you should be pursuing anyways, whatever it is. Because to me, that's always a good indicator of if I'm in alignment with what God wants me to do. If I have to completely neglect my family, I'm like, oh, no, this ain't it. This ain't it either forever, or this ain't it in this season. If I'm never seeing my kid's face, that is never a part of my vision, to never see my kid's face. And so you want to ask, like, man, maybe I'm facing all this opposition, not because I'm in the right direction, but because I'm not doing what God has asked me to do in the right season. So maybe this ain't the vision right near. Maybe this isn't the vision right now, and I need to pivot. Guys, this is my heart. Do not give up on your goals and your vision as a mom. Bring those babies into your vision. Bring your husband into that vision, and get creative and resourceful on how you can move the needle a little bit every day. If this really spoke to you, I would love for you to grab my book. I don't know, it probably won't be out when this video comes, but just go ahead and subscribe. Don't worry, I'm gonna let y'all know when it officially drops and you can purchase it. If you have any questions, let me know. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. I plan on bringing more of the content from that book and around vision and goal planning and all of that. I plan to bring it to this channel, and so I would love for you to be a part of that. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.